Welcome to the Surviving to Thriving podcast, where we're dedicated to helping you break free from chronic inflammation and get your life back. I'm Dr. Rachel Yeager, naturopathic doctor and medical intuitive, and the founder of the Surviving to Thriving method of chronic illness recovery. Join me as we uncover strategies for overcoming health challenges and restoring your physical, mental, emotional, and soul health. Together, let's embark on a journey to thriving. Okay, I want to talk about our relationship with our body today. And this is not what you think in terms of, we think about relationship with our body in context of feeling fit or usually losing weight. But we want to do this in a whole new light. This has nothing to do with that. What we want to talk about is the relationship with our body and how that changes when we have symptoms, and how we can actually use our relationship with our body as a healing tool. And a lot of this comes back to mindset. Mindset is what we focus on and our organizational lens that we're perceiving information through. And based on that lens, we're going to focus on certain things more or less, and we're going to have a different outlook on things. And our outlook on how our body is functioning is actually really important for our healing journey. So instead of just focusing on getting your symptoms better and feeling better, so that then you feel less anxious about your health and you can do more things so you feel happier, what if we could actually start to shift your mindset before you even have the full physical healing? And what if that actually helped you heal faster? We know that this is actually the case. We know that mindset and nervous system regulation and what's going on in our brain actually directly impacts our physical healing. So let this sink in. Think about a time when you've been so incredibly anxious or upset about something. Maybe you were going through something really hard, or you had a really stressful breakup, or you're grieving the loss of a loved one, or you didn't get a job that you really wanted. Anything that can have really strong emotions. And think of the physical response in your body. And if you haven't had an experience like that, think about something that makes you, in general, feel anxious if you were going to give a speech in front of thousands of people. And then go in your body for a second. What happens in your body when you have these emotions? And tune in and just imagine, is your heart racing faster? Do you feel almost nauseous and sick to your stomach, like you have butterflies? Do you feel like you have a headache and you can't think as clearly, or you feel like you're panic focused in and laser focused on one thing, can't see the big picture? Do you feel clammy? Do you feel almost like you're getting a hot flash? Think about what that feels like in your body, and then come back to yourself. We're going to get out of that zone. So wiggle your fingers and your toes. And that's right there, a direct experience that you have had personally, direct evidence for the fact that what you're feeling emotion-wise and what you're thinking about actually impacts how you feel physically. And there's so many things happening under the scenes in our body that we're not going to perceive right away. So yeah, we might notice our heart rate speeding up, but we're not going to be able to feel things like our immune system shutting down and stopping fighting off viruses. We're not going to be able to directly feel right in that moment the switch in our brain flipping off to that's helping regulate our sex hormones. We might not even feel that we're not digesting our food as well and we're not absorbing the nutrients from it. We may or may not be able to feel that. So there's so many things that we can feel, but other things that are happening under the hood, behind the surface, that are happening in our body as well whenever we're having different thoughts and emotions coming in. So if every thought or emotion or anything that we're feeling, if that is impacting what's going on in our body, what's actually happening? So we're having a cocktail of chemicals fire with every thought that spurs some kind of emotion. So behind every thought, there is going to be an emotion. I didn't get that job is the thought. And the emotion there might be sadness. I'm really missing this person. The emotion there might be grief. Whatever it is, our thoughts, our feelings, they're firing these chemical cocktails in our brain. These chemical cocktails are including our neurotransmitters, So we have things like calming, relaxing neurotransmitters like GABA, which helps us sleep at night. And during the day, it helps us feel calm and grounded and like we're not having panic. And then we have really excitatory neurotransmitters. So adrenaline is the most commonly known one. There are actually quite a few others that function similarly. And these get us amped up and we feel anxious and we might even feel like we're having a panic attack or we feel uneasy, a sense of unease and dread, a baseline in our body. So our neurotransmitters are being affected for one thing. Also, our cortisol levels are shifting based on what's going on in our brain. So our cortisol is our master stress, energy, and circadian rhythm regulator hormone. And it is constantly affecting how we feel and how the rest of our organs are functioning. It directly impacts things and it indirectly impacts things. And one of those things that it impacts is our sex hormones. So again, these different chemical cocktails, they really feed down the line and everything that they're affecting in our body, they do actually affect our sex hormone levels. They also affect our histamine levels and our inflammation levels. So we can get really high histamine and really high inflammation just from having a negative or stressful or bad feeling, thought, or emotion. So our bodies and our brains are incredible, and we have to give them a lot of credit for how intelligent and capable they are. So it's never going to be simple. It's never just going to be one quick magic pill to balance everything out. We're complex beings. You are complex. Your body is incredible, and it's doing so many complex things all the time. So if we can improve our relationship with our body, that changes our mindset. It changes the emotions that we're feeling and the thoughts we're having, and therefore, it's going to change the chemical cocktails that are firing. Maybe instead of getting adrenaline released, we might get more of our relaxing, calming, settling, balancing GABA hormone released. We want our body to be as balanced as possible. We still want to get adrenaline shifts if we are having something really scary like a lion chasing us, but we don't want them when we're just sitting, resting on our couch. So when it comes to our relationship with our body, I think it's really important to call out that it's very common to feel betrayed by your body or like you have let your body down. It goes both ways with these chronic symptoms or feeling like your body's been out of balance for a long time. So if you feel like your hormones and all these other things are imbalanced and your body is just letting you down and giving you all these hot flashes and things, that's a common feeling. If you feel like you're not eating your best or moving your body enough or getting enough water or whatever it might be, it's common to feel like you're letting your body down. There's usually a little bit of both. It goes both ways. And the first thing I think is important to do is to separate yourself actually from your body for a second. So your brain, your mind, your consciousness is actually separate from your physical body somewhat. Your physical body, we can think of more like a beloved pet. Your body is more of a primitive animal kind of being. It has needs for food and water and sleep. Your body increases its heart rate when you're exercising to keep up with the demand and shuttle oxygen to all of your muscles. We want to think of our body as a beloved pet, like your favorite pet you've ever had, dog, cat, whatever. And if you haven't had a pet, then you can think of it as more of a child, something that you're taking care of. And your body is going to be sending signals to you, but they're not always going to be high-level signals that we can get a direct read on with our cognitive conscious brain. So for example, if you're having inflammation in your foot, your body might send you pain signals, but it's not going to tell you clearly what exactly is causing the inflammation in your foot. So it's kind of like a toddler communicating or a pet, a dog that is making eye contact with you and telling you something's wrong, but they're not able to tell you actually exactly what's wrong. So think of your body as a beloved pet. And if you were to go for a walk and if you're to take your pet for a walk and come back home, one of the first things you might do is make sure that your pet gets some water to drink so that they get hydrated. So if we think of our body the same way, caring for our body would look like after we exercise, we think about what our body needs, the same way we would think about what a pet needs. and we ask our body, are you thirsty? Do you want some water? And we nourish our body with that water if it wants that. Another example here is checking in and seeing if our body is tired and what time it wants to go to bed. So even if we're feeling like we want to keep doom scrolling or letting the Netflix autoplay or whatever it is at night, if your body is telling you it's actually tired and it actually wants sleep, then one way to help care for our body is to say, okay, my body is like this toddler, it's like this pet, and it's so tired. And if my pet were exhausted, I wouldn't keep my pet awake, making it watch movies. Like I would go put my pet in the bedroom in a dark space where they can sleep. So even if our mind is wanting something else, we can actually try to care for our body. Again, framing it like this beloved animal pet. The list goes on and on with how we can start reframing being kind to ourselves with, if your body was your beloved pet, what would you do? If your body was feeling sick, if your pet was feeling sick, would you make your pet go for a 5-mile run? Would you make your pet do anything, or would you let them just rest? If your pet was hungry, would you feed them right away, or would you make them wait a few hours until you were done working? Are you treating your body with that same level of communication and urgency and being attuned and providing what needs it needs? So this is huge for shifting how we think about our body, because our body has its own set of needs that is separate than our mental needs. So I might need connection and I might need mental stimulation and wanting to read. And there are a ton of things I could say my mind needs. These are going to be different than my body's needs for things like sleep and food and water. So tuning into that, you can actually tune in right now and ask your body, is there anything that you need? It's really common for us to get not very clear hunger or thirst signals or tired signals because we're used to ignoring our body and tuning it out. So you'll actually find when you start tuning in, you'll notice much more quickly when your body is cold or hot or when you want water, things like that. What can come with that is you actually can notice your symptoms a little bit more, but that's okay. That shifts as we regulate the nervous system. Another way to help look at your relationship with your body is to think about all the things that your body is doing for you all the time. So if you're here and you're listening to this, then your body is regulating your heart rate and it's helping you breathe right now. If you're here, then your body has done some level of digestion where it's absorbed the nutrients in your intestines. So you can actually take your hand to help really focus, because most people are on some level pretty tactile, where having some kind of input, sensation and input can really help. So take your hand, put it on your heart, and ask your heart. First of all, you can ask that space, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Is there anything you need? And if your heart is a little bit faster than you think is normal for you, then maybe you need some rest or some electrolytes or some water, or to do a little bit of meditation and calm down from an anxiety state. And then we can tune in and we can say, okay, I recognize everything that you're doing for me, heart. I recognize that you're beating for me. I recognize that you're pumping this really oxygen-rich blood that my whole body needs all throughout, getting to all the cells and tissues in my body to help sustain life in my body. I know you're beating even when I sometimes let myself get dehydrated or I'm not getting enough sleep. And even if you're having symptoms in other parts of your body, what is your body still doing and showing up doing every day? If you're feeling inflammation, your body's feeling it too. So it's showing up to work while it's sick. So what is it still doing at work while it's sick? It's still showing up and running your heart factory, beating your heart. And then let's move down to your lungs. You can put your hand on your belly, feel the bottom of your diaphragm here. You can take a deep breath in through the nose or the mouth if that feels better, and really balloon your belly out and let that air fill your belly. Puff your belly out as far as you can to push your hand out away from your stomach. And then you can exhale out through the mouth. Even just doing that is really great for relieving some tension. But we're tuning into the belly, and you can first of all ask your belly if there's anything it needs. You can let it know, even if I haven't been paying attention to you, I'm here for you and I'm listening now. And I'm here to recognize the signals that you're sending me and see what you actually need. Maybe your belly is tired, or maybe your belly needs you to relax your tight diaphragm. And then we're going to visualize all the things that your stomach and your intestines are doing for you, even as your body is showing up sick to work every day. So it's still breaking down your food into small particles. It's absorbing nutrients. It's shuttling through the metabolic waste that your body doesn't want. Your intestines are making contractions that you sometimes feel, but usually we don't feel, that are moving things through. There's so many processes of digestion that are happening, even if you are having gut symptoms or other symptoms. And then let's move to your arms or your legs. Focus on your limbs and the fact that they respond to the signals from your brain and they move. So you can grab things, you can walk, you can carry yourself. With whatever limbs you have, focus on those and what you can do. And even though I'm having all these symptoms, can you still pick up a fork? Can you still walk with your legs? And really send some love, some warmth to those parts of your body and thank them for what they're doing for you. And it's okay to still be frustrated at having symptoms and anything in your body that doesn't feel comfortable. Few things can be true. So even though your emotions are totally valid and it's okay to feel frustrated, at the same time, we can still feel gratitude for what is working right. And now you can shift your attention to your jaw and your mouth. See if there's anything that it needs. Is your body having any muscle tension? Would it love a little massage on your jaw to help relax? Now tune into everything it's doing. Is your mouth moving so that you can eat or that you can talk and communicate with your loved ones? Are you still able to taste things? Are you still able to say, I love you to the people that really matters? And picturing our body like a beloved pet that's showing up to work sick. Can we thank it for still doing this job and working even while it's sick? One big part of rewiring our nervous system and regulating our brain state so we can have the best healing and the best physical health is just being attuned to our body and being aware, stepping in, doing brain scans, doing body scans. What we just did could be called a type of body scan. So you could check in and ask your body what it needs and then actively recognize what your body is doing for you, and the challenge that it's facing and how it's still showing up for you, even if there are areas where you are having pain or frustrating symptoms in your body. Checking in with your body starts building a relationship with your body. If you have this open line of communication, checking in with your body, this is huge for regulating and healing because this lets you start to live more in your body. And the more aware we are, and the more we are starting to shift our energy into our body rather than just being up in our mind, that's when we're able to start getting grounded. We're able to start having intuition so we can make our best health decisions. We're able to start feeling that regulated, calm, peaceful feeling, and healing falls in line, and it becomes so much easier. It becomes like skating downhill versus trudging uphill through the snow. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this helps you reflect on your relationship with your body, and it's okay to have frustrations. And if it feels right, and if this felt like something that shifted something, then I challenge you to continue building this relationship with your body. And both things can be true. You can say, even though I'm frustrated and I'm having these symptoms, I'm still grateful for this, or I'm still recognizing this, or I'm still going to tune into my body and increase my awareness and work on my relationship with my body because I want to heal. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I hope that you go on and keep connecting with your body and stay tuned so we can keep working on different factors for healing and how to move forward when you're having symptoms. So stay tuned for the next episode and have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Surviving to Thriving podcast. I hope you found inspiration and valuable insights to support your journey towards better health and happiness. Remember, each health journey is unique. This podcast is not medical advice, and it's essential to consult with your healthcare provider before making any changes. If you'd like to schedule a complimentary consultation with me, I would love to talk with you. Please go to drrachelyeager.com/schedule.